Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to share another interesting story. With the help of these kinds of animated kids stories, I'm just practicing. So today I'll also share another interesting story. So without further delay, let's start. Please stay connected until it ends. So let's start. So first of all, Happy National Space Day. So, you know, in the village name Moratok, there used to live a man named James. James used to work on the other's field for his living. Robert used to live with his wife named Stella and a son named Robert. One day, James James says to his wife in the evening, James says to his wife, "Hey Stella, serve the food quickly." Then Stella says to her husband, "Oh, just 5 minutes more." And after a while, Stella serves the meal, and and everyone goes to sleep after the dinner. Then Stella asked to James, "Hey, why do you why do you have to go early tomorrow?" Then James says to Stella, tomorrow there is lots of work on the field, so stop talking and go to sleep." And next day before sunrise, Robert goes on the field and started working. It got evening, and Robert Robert about to go to his home, and then suddenly he stepped on a snake, and snake bit James. James started shouting because it was evening. Everyone was there indoors, so nobody could not hear James shouting. And after a while, James felt unconscious. Next day, few villagers came on the field and they saw James lying unconscious on the field. Then one man says to another man, "Let's go and check." And they 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 said to James, "Hey James, wake up now. What happened to you? Why are you lying in this way?" And they find out that then a man then a man looks his feet and find out and Bill says to his friends, "James bro has bitten by a snake. See the mark on his feet." And they find out that Robert is no more, and everyone takes James to his home. And after watching all of this, Stella started crying and says, "What happened to my husband? Why did you bring in this way?" Then a man tells everything to Stella. "Your husband has bitten by a snake and he is no more." After listening all of this, Stella says, "Oh God, why did you do this to me? How will I feed my family? What will I do now?" And after after a while, Stella Stella also felt unconscious. And after a few days, Stella Stella started working on the field for her living, and she used to take care of Robert. And that's how few years passed. One day, and now Robert started going now Robert started to go to school. Robert says to mother, "Hey mother, give me my tiffin fast." Then mother says to Robert, "Yes, my son, I am bringing." Then Stella, Stella, Stella gives tiffin to the Robert, and Robert went to school, and that's how lots of time passed. And friends, Robert became irresponsible. He never feel he never felt sorry for his mother's condition, and he became irresponsible. And now that's how anyhow few years passed, and Robert started going to college. One day Robert's friends suggested to Robert, we should we should go to the picnic. There will be lots of fun. Then Robert says to his friends, "Yeah, we will have lots of fun. We will have lots of fun." And he agreed to go to picnic. And Robert Robert's friends left, and then Robert started thinking in his mind, "I have agreed to go to picnic, but I don't have money. From where will I get money?" And emerged he emerged in this thought, and goes goes his home and says to mother, "I need 5,000 I need 5,000 rupees till evening. Give me money." Then mother says to Robert, "Hey Robert, why do you need so much money? And I don't have so much money." Then Robert says to mother, "You do anything. Give me money till evening. Otherwise I'll not come home." Then mother says to Robert, "Don't say like this, son. Really, I don't have so much money." And she was worried about. She goes in the honor of the she goes honor of the fields home, and ask ask some money as a loan. And but even then there was shortage of the money. And she again goes to her neighbor Lila, and and she collects she collects 5,000 rupees. And in the evening Robert says to mother, "Give me money quickly." Then mother says to Robert, "Yes son, I will give I will give it to you right now." And she gives money, and Robert was very happy. Next day in the morning, Robert Robert catches bus with his friends. And in the bus he looks a girl. He likes her, and he started talking with her, and says, "Hey, I am Robert. What's your name?" Then girl says to Robert, I am Grace." And that's how started talking. And after some time they started loving. But Grace was really very angry girl. And after the picnic, after come back from the picnic, Robert brings Grace to his home. Robert's mother was looking at Grace, but Grace was looking her too angrily. And after a while, Grace leaves. Grace leaves from their home. Then Robert's mother says to Robert, Robert, his son, I do not think this girl is good for you. You will find for better one. Then Robert says to mother, hey mother, don't say like this. If I'll ever if I'll ever get married, then only with Grace. You don't teach me. Then then Stella says to Robert, okay son, as you wish, you will have to spend your life with her. Why will anything bother me? And after after a few days they got married. And now Grace started living with Robert and Stella. And now Grace started arguing with her mother-in-law. One day she says to her mother-in-law, I will not do anything. I will not do any work. If you want to do, otherwise leave it. Then mother-in-law says to Grace, oh daughter, if I will not be here, then you will have to do all the household chores. Then Grace says to Stella, I will see that. You don't try to teach me. And that's how she started fighting with her mother-in-law every day. And she used to provoke Robert against his mother. And Robert was also started fighting with his mother. One day Grace burnt her hand by herself. And in the evening, when Robert came home, then she tells to Robert, look, your mother burnt my hand. And she used to fight every day. And after watching all of this, Robert got really angry. He goes near to mother and started abusing to his mother and throughout of the house. And says to mother, go away from here. Then mother says to Robert, what have I done that you are throwing me out of the house? Then Robert says to his mother, I don't want to listen anything. Just go away from here. And now Robert's mother started living in the temple nearby her home. And that's how few days passed. One day Robert feels pain in his heart and says to Grace, hey Grace, I have pain in my heart. Please take me to the hospital. Then Grace was worried about, and she takes hospital. And doctor checks and find out there is a hole in Robert's heart. And he tells to Grace, here, listen madam, there is a big hole in your husband's heart. We will have to find a person who is ready to give his heart. Only then I will able to save your husband's life. Stella was terrified, and he was worried about what should he do now, and he was crying. And Robert's neighbors find this news, and they, they tells to his mother. After listening all of this, immediately Robert's mother comes in the hospital and says to doctor, please take my heart and save my son's life. And then she gives her heart to her son. Now Robert's operation was successful, and Robert's life was saved, but his mother was no more. And after some time, Robert came in his consciousness, and then he asked to Grace, hey Grace, what happened to me? Then before Grace say anything, doctor comes there and says to Robert, hey Robert, there was a big hole in your heart, and your mother gave gave her heart to save your life, and now she is no more. After listening all of this, Robert says, oh my god, my mother gives her heart to me and she is no more. And she started crying, and he puts his hand on his heart and he listens his mother's voice. Mother says to Robert, hey son, look, i have I have done everything for you, but you never cared to me. And look, I gave my heart to save your life, and I am no more. Always be happy, child, always be happy. And after listening all of this, Grace and Robert felt ashamed what they had done. So did you see, friends? A mother can do anything for her children. So always respect your father and mother. They are the most valuable and fortunate people in the world. So I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.